Welcome. First I want to talk about the HDB 68 and the stock version. You don't have the tank. You'll have the CO2 cartridge that goes up in here, inverted, so you can tap it. And of course, didn't do any barrel modification or anything. Added a sling, had to add some rings there for that to work. Laser, dot sight. But I had to add an adapter, and I'm sure it's not a quality adapter because the regulator, even though I changed the seal on the regulator, it still won't go up in there. It seals, but I'm sure it's supposed to go on up in a little bit. Ordered the tank and the regulator. This is an 800 PSI regulator with a 3000 PSI tank, and that's a 13 cubic inch size. And also had to add a 1/2 inch riser with this dot sight so that I could look to put my cheek right there and be able to see correctly. You can't use the sights when you add the tank. For some reason, line of sight didn't work for me. What we're going to talk about is stock without adding the air tank, using the CO2. I was getting about 196 feet per second with a 2.8 gram nylon ball. Was giving me that speed, and that equals about 5 joules stock. So what we did was we took it apart. I'm not going to bore you with taking it apart. There's lots of videos on that, but I'll show you real quick. I will tell you, a lot of people have trouble getting those out. I had trouble getting that out. I had to actually cut a slot in it to use a screwdriver, a straight blade screwdriver, to get that broke loose. My two-prong deal wouldn't do it. Anyway, this is the regulator, the seal for the regulator, and the little pop-out cap that when you activate the CO2 pops out the back. Now it's a little tricky in here because this adapter, there's inside the plastic you've got like the outer fin, 2 more little fins, and I wanted all that to fit snug to help support the adapter with the weight of this tank on it. So I made sure I sized it for where the taper was on this adapter. I drilled out each section exactly so that all those ribs in there and the case will help support this. Okay? You'll be taking that out, and that out. If you want an open regulator, you'll leave that cap screwed in, add the adapter in the tank. Once modified, a 2.8 nylon ball went from 196 feet per second to 587 feet per second, which, if my math is correct, that should be about 44 joules. The 3.8 rubber ball was producing 550 feet per second, which should be about 53 joules. The aluminum ball, which is 7.3 grams, it was only given 397 feet per second, which is still, I think, equivalent to 53 joules. So, with that being said, this ball's pretty tough. They will break, hitting metal, plywood, things like that. Those will come bouncing back at you. Rubber balls. Aluminum balls, they'll bounce back too, but not like the rubber balls. But for weight between them and the velocity they produce, you're still getting, I'm pretty sure, about 53 joules. So it's up to you whether you want to smack your target or punch your target. Does that make sense? Have a good day.